Corner Piece Gallery presents On the Brain.
Explorations in art in the brain, and what we are doing to ourselves with art.
Hi, I'm Wayne Matthews, and this is David Gordon.
Yes.
Alright, so the first question is, why is art so far behind in Canada?
Well, I think Canadians are a pretty conservative bunch and like to put draw a string around what they consider art to be and our place with art. But actually in that magazine, Arabella, the editor, was sort of taking a look at that very thing, that Canadians think of the group of seven and they don't think beyond that. That whatever our entrenched idea of ourselves reflected in art, it seems to have something to do with the group of seven, something to do with nature, and always something to do with something that's not very threatening. Yeah. Any more questions there, Wayne?
Oh, yeah, we got all kinds of questions. Well, let's see. When are we recognized as artists?
Why aren't we recognized as artists?
You're an expressionist, I'm a surrealist. We're not recognized as artists in a sense.
I think you go back to Munch and Van Gogh, and there was a lot of impetus for people to start looking at themselves, certainly in post-1900 Germany, the Expressionists, and then the Dadaists and the Surrealists, who were really all trying to mess up the 8x10 glossy Pleasant Valley Sunday idea that everybody had of themselves, and that people took piano lessons and they took painting lessons as an extension of becoming more civilized and more cultured. And that seemed, the whole packaging of that seemed to be contradistinct to being an artist in the Munch or Van Gogh sense, where a lot of what they were doing was life and death. And when the Expressionists came along and the Surrealists came along, the Expressionists started distorting faces so that we could actually see the 400 micro expressions, the 400 expressions, human face expressions that we have contesting with each other, and the psychology that was revealed and ripped open, exposed by Expressionism. And Surrealism, you have interdimensionality, you have epochs of time and space congealing, superimposing, creating angles of disposition towards other features in the painting, and all that together means that it's an exploration of mindscape. And if you don't want to explore mindscape, if you just want to keep everything very incremental and sequential and rational, and you didn't want to call on the imagination, the intuition, the whole exercise of reverie that opens the artist's body and soul to what is they're being exposed to on the inside of their own consciousness, and expressing that, bringing that out, and Surrealists twisting that around, so that once you put something in a new light, you start reformulating your overall impression of other people's imaginations and your own imagination, and you can see the levels of indoctrination of where people have subscribed to this idea of themselves in a very sort of pedestrian way, because in an information bombarded world, it's about all we can handle. You take your ostrich with your head buried in the hole, and you take your head out of the hole, somebody's going to shoot it off. So we practice keeping our sweeping stuff under the carpet, and I think that's what a Surrealist and an Expressionist do, is try to get at all the stuff that's under the carpet.
Now, when you're doing your Expressionism, what are you trying to accomplish?
Colors and exaggerated lines, coarseness, roughness, disruption, I think, of the slickness that is persuasively and pervasively everywhere you look these days. Everybody's got a packaging that looks professional. Everybody's got, and you know, you sort of have to rip off the rough edges of reality to stylistically try to combat that willingness of our minds to make believe that everything is all slick and smooth and so on. Expressionists want to, you know, take the puppet from the puppet master, rip it off, all the strings, expose the guts, the anatomy of the psychiatry and vision that is or is not existent in the puppet, so that we all can learn from that, so that we can adapt and evolve and create this innerness with more magnitude, more amperage, more amplification.
What made you go down that line?
I think it was just natural, really, growing out of a need to do something where I wasn't pre-measuring myself. I wasn't. This was just. It wasn't exploration. It wasn't. Oh, I'm going to be a painter. I'm going to somehow try to design something that I can develop into a hobby or into a money-making side order of French fries,
Whatever, mushrooms.
and you know, so this was just something that once you start trying to amplify your innerness, you have to find a way of doing that. And I think Van Gogh expressed it so well in saying that creativity just has to, you know, if you keep putting a lid on it, suppressing, repressing, packaging yourself, preparing a face to meet the face that you meet, eventually you get to be a bundle of nerves and a bundle of lies and a bundle of inexplicable tangents and fragments of reality that just don't fit, you know, Humpty Dumpty. You can't put Humpty together again. And to put Humpty together again, you need to find out what's in Humpty's head.
You need some glue.
Glue.
You need some glue. Okay, all in all, is there a therapeutical side to what you do?
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. Yeah, I think I feel that I'm in a pretty good place now. I'm in a pretty good place now because of that exploration, because you learn that you can create a situation, set up a bunch of wiring and firing in your brain because you stirred up elements in yourself over here, and then things start gravitating you into this different orbit because the plasticity in your brain is taking a different shape, has a different vantage point, and from that different vantage point things are revealed. So it's a revelatory thing, and you know, the heart rises up, the soul rises up when things are revelatory, and it's a constant of process of enlightenment, a constant process of revelation. It's not like you go from A to B and you become so-and-so. This so-and-so has to continue to explore. You have to anchor, I think, the principles of understanding that are fundamental to the essence of being human, because these things we have to nurture. That's the garden of our existence, our reality. We have to cultivate it, we have to look after it, we have to. These dendrites and axons in our brain need a rainforest environment to exceed continuously their own expectations. And you need to fertilize that with your own willingness to explore art.